Good morning, ladies. Today I just want to give you a brief overview about macros, sort of do a macro 101, break them down so that it's a little bit easier to understand, get back to the foundation, and I'm going to show you on my other phone how I enter things in MyFitnessPal and some tricks that you can do to make MyFitnessPal a little bit easier. And then if I can, I'm going to show you that new website and how to use it to find recipes that fit your macros. This website is going to be a game changer for you, and I'm really excited that I found it and can't wait to share with you. So I was planning on doing a video on cortisol and stress management and positive mindset, but I think we'll leave that to a little bit later in the week or even next week. I really want you to get the foundation on your macros, and make sure to post any questions if you are hopping on the video. Good morning, Amy. So macros, what are they? Macros are where we get our calories. They are the only things that provide us calories, and they are our proteins, our carbohydrates, and our fats. Those are our three main type of macros. There are also micronutrients that we get from our foods. Those are our vitamins and our minerals and things like that, but they don't provide us calories. So our macros are what's providing us calories. Let me just charge my phone here so I don't lose you guys. Where do you go? 1 second. Perfect. Okay, so carbohydrates is what we will start with. Carbohydrates are actually not essential for our bodies because, as you know, we can break down fat for fuel. And then when we break down fat, it converts to ketones. And these ketone bodies can go into our brain and provide our brain for fuel. So that is why carbohydrates are not essential, but we absolutely cannot eliminate this food group entirely because it's really important for our body. It is important for us to be fueled optimally. So we need carbohydrates for our exercise performance. We need carbohydrates to help our muscles recover. We need carbohydrates to function mentally optimally, to not have brain fog. We need carbohydrates for our micronutrients that we talked about. Carbohydrates provide lots of different vitamins and minerals depending on where you're getting your carbohydrate sources from. Obviously, if you are getting your carbs from vegetables and fruit and sweet potatoes, that's going to provide you with more nutrients than if you are getting your carbohydrates from things like pasta or grains, etc. Even though certain types of grains do provide more nutrients. They also provide fiber. Typically, I will aim for 30 to 35 grams of fiber a day, and I would suggest you do the same as well. We need fiber to eliminate our hormones and eliminate our toxins, and that's how we pull out toxins from our environment or in our bodies so that we can excrete them through our bowels. So fiber is really important for you. If you are going a long time without any form of carbohydrates, if you have been doing a ketogenic diet, specifically an unhealthy ketogenic diet where you are taking out all your vegetables, all your fruit, you are eating cream cheese and bacon and cheese, and this happens. If you do that and you restrict your carbohydrates too low for too long, you are going to impair your body's thyroid from converting inactive thyroid hormone to active thyroid hormone. So your metabolism is going to slow. So carbs are really important. They will fuel our muscles. They will help us keep focused and energized. And we just need to eat the right amount of carbs at the right time for the right reasons. So carbs are not the enemy. It's been in so many different blog posts. Ketogenic diets, paleo diets have become really popular, and they're great, but we still need carbohydrates, especially if we're working out. And if our goal is to lose fat, and if our goal is to gain lean muscle, then carbohydrates are going to be important for us. So you can get carbohydrates from things like sweet potatoes, fruit, dates are really great if you want to get your carbs up. Vegetables, beans, legumes, all those things are going to provide carbohydrates, and same with vegetables. So when we typically think of carbs, if we're thinking carbs are bad, we are thinking things like pasta and bread, but we have to remember that vegetables also have carbohydrates and they're really healthy for us. So keep that in mind. Vegetables also contain carbs, and if you're looking to get your carbs up, think of vegetables that grow below ground, like your potatoes, your turnips, anything like that is really great for you. Sweet potatoes, squashes are really great for complex carbs as well. So each gram of carbohydrates contains 4 calories. So that's why on MyFitnessPal, if you're thinking, well, my fats are lower, but they're actually providing more calories. So that's why the ratios might look like they don't add up. It's because not every macronutrient provides the same amount of calories. So carbs and proteins will provide 4 calories per gram, whereas fat provides 9. So if you're looking to get your calories up, especially on low carb day, make sure to up those fats, because each gram of fat contains 9 calories. So that'll help you reach your calorie count. Next, we talked about that. Next, let's talk about protein. So protein is not just for bodybuilders. We think we're going to get big and bulky if we consume too much protein, but that is completely not the case. Protein is really important for women to help grow lean muscle mass, and we do not have the hormones or the genetics to really bulk up significantly, so don't worry about the protein. Protein's really great. It'll help boost your metabolism. It's important for neurotransmitters in our brain, so for making hormones to help us feel our best and feel positive. And just protein is important for so many different things throughout our body, so it's really important to get enough protein in. And we are thinking things like meats, poultry, eggs, egg whites specifically have protein, whereas the yolk has fat. So if you're looking to lower your fat a little bit, you can choose your egg whites, but on low carb day, fats are great. So let's have our full eggs. And the yolk provides a lot of different important vitamins and minerals for us as well. So don't just take out the egg yolk all the time. Fish is another really great source of protein, as well as if you're vegan or vegetarian, things like beans, lentils are really great. Beans and lentils will have extra fiber, which is awesome. So you can, yes, your carbohydrates are going to be higher when you're consuming plant-based sources of protein, but it's a significant amount of fiber. So don't worry if your carbohydrates are higher, especially if you are a vegan and consuming a lot of plant-based types of proteins. That's why vegans, I typically say we're gonna aim for 50% carbs, 30% fats, 20% protein, to account for the fact that your carbohydrate sources are a little bit different. If you are doing 50, 30, 20, make sure that your carbohydrate sources are coming from your plant-based sources of protein and not just extra carbs like pasta and bread. That doesn't count. So typically for protein, it is suggested, and I think this is a really great number for you as well, to consume 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. So lean muscle mass. It's hard to know how much muscle mass you have unless you have a digital scale that's accurate. Even that is a little bit hard. In the office, we will use calipers, which they pinch different parts in your body to figure out how much body fat and how much muscle you have. That's a little bit more accurate. So if you are aiming for 0.8 to 1 grams of protein, that is typically at the 30 or 40% level, which we recommend in MyFitnessPal. So there might be a little bit of tweaking that you have to do with your macros, but I suggest everyone starts on the program at 40, 30, 30. That's where we're going to start. That's what your goal is. That's what I want you to hit for the next 6 weeks. And then after the 6 weeks, if we need to do some adjustments, feel free to contact me and we can personalize your macros a little bit more to suit you. But doing the 40% gets you at about 0.8 to 1 pound or 1 gram per pound, give or take. We might have to adjust that for you, but to start, do the 40, 30, 30. So the next one we're going to talk about is fat. We talked about protein giving 4 calories per gram. Fat, on the other hand, gives 9 calories per gram, which we've talked about before. And there's this misconception that fat makes you fat, and that is completely not true. Sugar does. So fats are really important for healthy hormones. They're important for the development and growth of your muscles and for different types of reactions in your body. Fat also is what keeps you full. Fat is what will help your gut, help you improve your satiety, balance your hormones, improve your mood, energy, and libido. Fats, healthy fats are really, really important for you. So there's different types of fats. There's trans fats, there's saturated, there's unsaturated fats. Trans fats are pretty much taken out of everything in Canada. Even in North America, you don't see too many more trans fats. Unfortunately, they still do happen, but you want to avoid trans fats altogether. That's your partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Just avoid trans fats. They are not healthy for you. They've been linked to heart disease and cancer and many other diseases, so no trans fats. We want to be aiming for things like avocado. Coconut oil is really great. There was a recent study on coconut oil And the people who funded the coconut oil study, it was really interesting. They were a big company that supported GMO products, and it seemed a little bit off to me. I am still a firm believer in coconut oil. I think it's great, but again, it has to fit your macros. I don't think you can be having cups of coconut oil every single day, but a little bit is truly healthy for us. Olive oil, I think I mentioned, nuts and seeds, avocado, these are really great. It's actually going to improve your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, so these are really important to include in your diet. And fish is another great one. Fish oils, or just consuming fish, is a really great source of omega-3, which helps to improve your brain function and reduce your overall levels of inflammation. And it's a really important fat that a lot of us are missing in North America because a lot of us don't consume enough omega-3s in our diet, and we have too much omega-6, which is not ideal. So again, fat gives you 9 calories per gram. And while I want to make this point, it is true that fat loss will happen if you restrict your calories enough, but this is not going to help accelerate it, and it's not going to help make it optimal for you. So it's really important to, well, not only reduce your calories an appropriate amount, not too much that's going to negatively affect your metabolism, but it's also important to consume your macros. Consume the right macros at the right times for the right reason is really important to help you burn fat effectively. One thing, if you are used to consuming really low carbohydrates, if you've come to this program from a ketogenic diet, you have to consider that the second word in carbohydrate is to hydrate. So if this is more carbohydrates than you are used to consuming, your body is going to pull water into yourself. And this typically will peak at day 10. So if you have gotten on the scale or done your measurements, even though you are not supposed to be doing so, and you haven't noticed something moving at all, I want you to trust in the process and know that this is water. This could be that your body is burning fat, yes, but it's putting on water faster than it's burning fat. This water weight is going to go down. I promise you. You just need to trust in the process. If you've done a leg day, if you've consumed extra carbohydrates, that is just going to be more water in your muscles, and you are going to feel puffier. You might feel that your pants are a little bit tighter. This is normal. This is 100% expected. I see this every single time, and sometimes it takes people day 10 and then boom, that water comes off. Some people it takes till week 4, but you are going to notice phenomenal changes. You're going to notice huge changes to your physique, to your body composition, if you just trust in the process. So it is expected that you might gain a little bit of weight. It's only water weight. It's because you're putting on more water than the amount of fat that you are burning, but you are burning fat. I promise. Just stick with it. Looking at your comments here. Okay, that is all I think I want to talk about. Yeah, you're gonna have big leaps, small setbacks, aim for progress, not perfection. That is it. Okay, let me show you on my phone, MyFitnessPal, and something that you can do if you're getting a little bit confused. So the percentages are not your total amount of calories. They're just percentages. So if I go in here today is a low carb day, and if I add in an omelet, if I add in, okay, say I add in a cup of egg whites to MyFitnessPal. If we go into that pie chart, you are gonna see that it's just 100% protein. That is not that I've consumed all the protein that I am recommended to have in one day. It's just that the percentage-wise, the percentage of proteins, carbs, and fats that I ate was all protein, because egg whites are all protein. So if I go in and add some, I don't know, let's add some pecans. If I add some pecans and then you go back to look at my pie chart, you can see that the protein has gone down. Green is protein. So this is just the overall percentage, not the number of grams that I am recommended to have in a day. You can see that pecans gave me fat and a little bit of carbohydrates. Now, if I saw my pie chart looking like this, I need to, on low carb day, I can have more carbs. Now I can save them for at night when I'm craving something sweet and I want to have my chocolate mug cake. I could have a piece of dark chocolate if I really want it, or I can balance it out. Maybe I'll have some beans or some soup or something that has carbohydrates in it to balance it out. Maybe I want to save 22 grams and have an apple. Whatever you want to do, make sure to do that. Now, if you can see this, well, you can't really see. There's macros right here. Over 1 is nutrients. This is where I want you to go in and have a look, because on the side here, it'll tell you what your goals are for the total number of proteins, carbs, and fats. So it says that my goal for protein is 150 grams. My total that I've ate with those egg whites that I put in and pecans is 30. Now that leaves me 120 grams left. So if those percentages are confusing you, go into the nutrient section and just follow the grams that you have. Now, the website that I posted, let me see if I can pull that up. Give me a second here, guys. So the website, what you can do is you can adjust the amount of calories that you want in a recipe, the amount of carbs, proteins, fats that you want in a recipe. And at first I was concerned, okay, are these recipes going to be healthy? What are they going to be like? And I was pleasantly surprised. There was grain-free cookies, cauliflower, fried rice was another one. So really, really good recipes in that website. So the website is posted in our group. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. So it is called rippedrecipes.com, www.m.rippedrecipes.com. Okay, so it looks a little bit different on my phone, but let me unplug this so you can see. If you can see my computer. So this is the website, and you can see my ring light there. So what you can do is you can adjust the amount of calories here, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that you want in a recipe. So if I'm in my FitnessPal looking at my nutrients, and this is going to be easier if it's the last meal of your day, obviously, but I have 120 grams of protein left, and say I want to have 3 more meals, 4 more meals, just divide it by the number of more meals that you're going to have and the number of calories you have left. Just adjust it. So say I want 30 grams of protein in my meal. It's low carb day, so I don't want too many carbs. Let's say I want 12 carbs is fine, and fat, let's go with 14. Search recipes. So once you search, you can see that all these different recipes are going to come up. So this will give you an idea if you're struggling to hit your macros about different recipes that you can add in. And the more that you use MyFitnessPal, the more that you track without judgment, you will realize the components in foods that you might not have realized. The one that I keep repeating is cocoa powder. Who knew cocoa powder was so low in calories and high in fiber? So if I'm low on fiber, specifically on low carb day, I will go ahead and add extra cocoa powder to my smoothies, to my mug cake if that's what I'm making. I will add extra ground flax because that's a really great source. High in calories if we're not getting enough of our calories in. It's high in fiber. It's really great with omegas, and I keep my flaxseed in the freezer because it's already pre-ground. It's best to grind it before you use it, but I know I won't do that, so I just keep mine in the freezer. So these recipes are great. Roasted red pepper hummus. This has 5 carbs in it. So on low carb day specifically, for those of you who are interested in doing more plant-based protein, this is going to be really great for you. How awesome does this look? Spicy homemade red pepper hummus. Super easy to make. That one might even be something that I would consider making. Cilantro, lime, cauliflower, rice. And then some of them aren't so healthy, but they look pretty good. I went on and found a low carb. Yeah, it does look pretty good overall. And really, if you are finding any recipes and they contain flour, all you can do is just find a gluten-free flour mix and just substitute that in. They're pretty easy to find. You can use almond flour, I think tapioca's in there, potato, I personally avoid corn, so corn and gluten can cross-react and cause similar reactions in the body. Just for me, corn came up on my IgG too, so I stick without corn, but if you can find one without it, that would be awesome. And even like if it has milk, just use a milk substitute. It's so easy to just use almond milk, coconut, soy, whatever you're using. Lindsay says she's having a hard time getting enough calories with my macros being right. Yeah, so I think if you go into the nutrients and you look at it in terms of grams, that might be easier for you. And just keep an eye on your pie chart. If like my pie chart right now, if I have a look at it, whoa, where'd it go? You know, we saw that it was pretty much protein and fat. So right now I'm at 55% protein, which is over my 40% that I'm aiming for. So to get my 55 down closer to 40, all I need to do, if this was a regular carb day, is just consume more carbohydrates, because I'm only at 3% carbohydrates and my goal is 30. So all I really need to do is add in something with more carbohydrates. So one of my favorite recipes in it's under the files in the group is the sweet potato pancakes. So sweet potatoes, really high in nutrients, and they're great for carbohydrates. Dates, bananas, those things are all really great. So if I go to my nutrition, and there, now I'm primarily carbohydrates. So now I need to focus on consuming more proteins and more fats to get my carbohydrates down. If anything seems a little bit wonky in MyFitnessPal, make sure to go into your diary and have a look. So you saw that my carbs went skyrocketing and I only added my sweet potato. Well, if I have a look at MyFitnessPal and the number of servings, I've actually added 6 servings and a serving size is 1 cup. So I actually accidentally added 6 cups of sweet potatoes, and that's not what I consume. So just make sure that your number of servings is right if anything seems a little bit wonky. And listen to your body. Try to consume your foods until you're 80% full. Unless you are measuring your foods precisely on a scale, MyFitnessPal is not going to be completely accurate. We need to account for that, and really individual variations and listening to your body and eating intuitively is going to be really important for us. So while I want you to make sure that you're meeting your minimum number of calories so that you are not lowering your metabolism, just know that MyFitnessPal might not be exact on everything, and to go on how you feel. But at the same time, nourish your body and make sure you're getting all your macros and micronutrients. So that's all I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to ask them. Have a great day, guys.